Hey, it's Drybear. Another day, another news item for the First Descendant. We have a new event going live today and a bunch of new things to talk about from the dev responses. The first thing to talk about is the brand new web event that went live today. Yesterday, we talked about how players were dissatisfied with the rollover of the new events. We had the daily login event for the Descendants, which gave us a whole bunch of materials. And then when that rolled over, we got an event that only gave us cosmetics. So if you're in game and you open this up and you go to your Descendant daily tasks, what was replaced the previous event was this, where you can get the chest piece item, the maple leaf, as well as the fluffy turkey as a back attachment for doing infiltration operations. However, what was supposed to go live yesterday but didn't was another web event that replaces those materials for everybody else. So if you're in game, you do still want to make sure you do these daily tasks, but there is a web event that you can gain access to as well. Now, I'll leave a link to the web event down below in the description and in the comments so you can reference that as well. I highly recommend just bookmarking it if you're on PC or if you're on your phone. If you're looking for it in game, however, you can still access it in game by going to the escape menu and then hitting the banner button down here at the bottom. If you hit the banner, this will bring up the banner for you, the one that you may have closed already. They also set it so you can't ignore this one, just because there was a bug before where you could ignore the Freyna event and not get to the web. So you can just go to this and hit the go to event tab, and it will actually open up the browser on your whatever device you're on that will allow you to access the web event. And luckily, this one is way simpler than the Freyna event that we had before. All you have to do is log into the website with whatever login you choose. Again, I recommend Nexon because it tends to work better in general, but it does give you this as an option. But you just have to log in and hit claim. So what you'll get is this first login, 30th anniversary login event. You come down here for week 1. All you have to do is hit claim reward here under the full week. You'll get all of these in a single mail item, and then you'll hit claim reward on the bottom here, which will be a 2-piece reward structure. These items will show up in your mail like 5-10 minutes later, and then you'll also get 4 weapon material tickets, which you will then spend in the materials shop, which is down here. So unlike the Freyna event where you have to do dailies on the website, you just log in, they give you amount of credits, and then you can spend those credits on items that you might need for weapons. So polymers, fibers, nanotubes, and blueprints. You can just come here and spend 1 ticket in order to get that if you need it to fill in whatever weapon or build you're trying to finish off with that, and then it will just show up in your mail as well. So every week you'll be able to do 4 of those to fill in whatever gap you're missing. Obviously the most valuable here is going to be the blueprints because they're generally the most rare, but you want to kind of look at these for whatever is the most valuable. In general, if you're wondering, like if you don't really have a plan in mind and you're wondering like what is the best option here, I would recommend one of 2 things. Either go for the weapon that's incredibly hard to farm. One of the most notoriously difficult weapons to farm is Secret Garden. It has one of the lowest drop rates. It is very, very rough to farm. So getting Secret Garden from the web event, if you don't already have it maxed out, is a good option. And the other option I would recommend if you're already at late game, for some people, is to go for things that have the normal mode requirement at the end of a dungeon. So things like Thunder Cage or things like Fallen Hope, they require you to do normal mode dungeons with a flat drop rate, which tend to be a lot slower to farm than others. It's not that they're hard to do, they just can be kind of time consuming if you're trying to farm those. So that's what I recommend going for, is things like Afterglow Sword, Secret Garden, or Fallen Hope, Thunder Cage, if you don't have any other things that you're looking for specifically. And again, once you jump in game, after about 5 or 10 minutes, you'll want to make sure you grab up these mail items that have all of the bonuses from that gift. Those welcome gifts are a single package. So everything you see listed there under that welcome gift, you'll just get all of it in one set for the item itself, and then you'll be good to go. Another interesting tidbit as well is one of the colors that you're getting in the anniversary package is actually a brand new color that hasn't existed, as far as I can tell, hasn't existed in game, and that is the Noble Teal Blue. It is this kind of metallic, kind of like chrome style blue tint that you can put on your characters. I'm hoping that once you spend this, you'll be able to buy more to have this as an option, but this color, Noble Teal Blue, doesn't show up in your color list until you accept it from the anniversary gift event. Also, it's worth mentioning that many people on PC are getting this error today, and I think it's just an error in the update being launched out through Steam. Right now, if you're playing on PC, I don't think it's happening to anyone on console, but if you're playing on PC, you might need to right-click your game on Steam Steam and verify game files, or force quit Steam and relaunch it. There's an issue right now where you can launch the game without being caught up on the latest update, and then you'll fail to log in because you have a version mismatch. So either force the verification of the game files on Steam to fix this issue, or you might just have to force restart Steam so that it recognizes that there's a new update available. And also, ETA is up right now with storage slots, equipment slots, more hair colors, and paints, and anything that you might need. It has a Peacemaker blueprint, which might be useful for people that don't want to farm up Gluttony. And on the other store option, you do have some like a catalyst and some with more paint and hair colors if you're looking for those as well. Jumping into the dev responses from the directors, they're just giving us a steady feed of revelations all throughout the day when they go through and respond to this after their workday is done. The first one that I want to talk about is this one right here, which is actually pretty big news for everybody. They respond to a question about increasing the difficulty of invasions, saying that we believe the invasions need a rework, but since they are essential for gold farming, we plan to maintain their current state during Season 2, which means that the invasions that you're able to do now will likely continue through Season 2. And I know some people have their own thoughts and opinions about invasions, but I personally am glad they're part of the rotation now, because it's very easy to just jump on. It takes like 10 minutes to do all 4 of them. You just burn through them, you get 5 million gold, and you're done. It's a very nice, steady amount of gold that you can do in a very short period of time, which I think is great. So they're going to be keeping invasions for Season 2. We weren't essentially positive on whether they were going to do this, but they are keeping them. They're thinking, they were asking about adding a difficulty with a large number of monsters, and it could be unfortunate for people to be able to do it. They just wanted to have as an option of a regular amount of gold that you can earn, and I'm sure with more of the options that you'll have available, potentially with Keelan and other new character builds and things like that, in Season 2, it might make the invasions even easier, but that 5 million gold every single day is looking like it's going to continue all throughout Season 2. A couple quick notes on customization. They're not looking to add any new socket types or equipment types to the customization, but there have been a lot of ideas floating around. One of them is people have been asking for like an extra back attachment that's not like metal pieces, but an actual cape piece. They say that they're not planning to do this, but they would like to do it in the long term. And the same thing goes for potential tattoos, scars, things like that. So things applied to the body directly. They are considering it. It's not going to be something in the short term, but they would like to add more expansions to customization like that. They've also confirmed that they've started the discussions around enabling mouse and keyboard for console. This has been asked quite a lot on many of the public forums for people that would like to play mouse and keyboard while still playing on their console. So they're begun the technical discussions on how they might accomplish that if they were going to do it. So at least that's moving the ball forward. There's also some questions around some of the Descendants that haven't been in discussion for balance and things like that. We know Jaber and Luna are getting reworks. We know a couple of other Descendants are going to be buffed in some positive ways, but people were discussing whether or not characters like Gley would be seen, and the director responded with saying that no, Gley is not really on the list to be like reworked or buffed or altered anyway. What they're looking at is kind of keeping Gley in the focus of what she does best, like weapon-based gameplay, potentially even just killing single targets, although she does still have her Crunch Gley build. And on top of that, they're hoping that with all of the weapon rebalancing and the weapon buffing that they're going to be doing in Season 2, they're going to wait and see what impact that has on Gley, which is fair because we know that when they made buffs to things like Executor, any weapon that gets really good is going to have an impact on Gley because she's so effective at using weapons. So that's something that they're going to be keeping an eye on, but Gley is not on the docket right now to get buffed, at least in the next 2 months. Another big reveal is that they mentioned, I mean, this has been asked many times, is the idea of being able to transfer normal Descendant progress to Ultimate Descendants, so you don't have to do that twice or waste resources on normal Descendants. They said that they've been working on it for quite a while. They've been discussing it. However, for today, we finally got an update on what this is looking like. So they responded with, yes, they are aware that normal and Ultimate Descendants don't feel good to have that transfer between them, and they're hoping that they will have an update on this in the first half of 2025. So it looks like it's not going to be any time in Season 2, and it may not be in the start of Season 3, but maybe by summer we'll have it in-game next year, which tells you exactly what you're looking for. So you've been waiting a little bit while on whether you want to, transfer your Descendant to an Ultimate, on whether you should like upgrade an ultimate that just got updated, it's very possible based on that timeline that you may want to just go ahead and do it. So if you've been waiting on Ultimate Freyna, or you were thinking about waiting on Ultimate Sharon because you have points in Sharon already, it might be a good idea to just go ahead and upgrade the new version, because by the time we get the normal to ultimate transfer process, it may be already, enough time has passed and you farmed enough catalysts and activators to replace it. They also confirmed that they have no plans for a Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale for Caliber or anything of the like. So if you're holding out for that, it looks like that's not going to be happening. And that's where we're at for the news today for the First Descendant. Let me know what you think about these updates down below. If you found value in today's video, leave a like down below, leave a comment for the algorithm to help this video get seen by more people. And don't forget to check out my other channels for other content and other stuff and other things.